Project Fae is just trying to ruin my life. The book I wrote, you know, is obviously out to get me. This novel better just knock everybody's socks off, or otherwise I shall bang my face on the keyboard. Now I just oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know what past Emily was thinking. I worked on Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Emily and this is the start of what I know is going to be a very long writing vlog because at the time of filming this intro I am right in the middle of editing it. Today we will be taking a break from focusing on In Dying Starlight to focus completely, utterly, and entirely on Project Fae, which is my standalone fairy tale novel I'm going to publish later this year. For those of you who are new or just can't keep track of whatever insanity is going on with my stories, and I don't blame you, I am in the process of going through some pretty intense developmental edits on Project Fae, and that is what you are going to see a whole lot of in this vlog. So let's jump right in without further ado in 3, 2, 1, go. Project Fae is just trying to ruin my life. The book I wrote, you know, is obviously out to get me. So today is Friday, February 18th. I'm working on editing chapter 19 right now. I just got finished with chapter 18 last night, but I don't think it's good. And the whole point of this editing pass was to make it good enough for beta readers, and now I'm not sure. I knew the whole second half needed some editing to begin with, like it needed a lot more work than the first half, but something just feels off about the second half of the story, and I don't know what it is, and that's the worst. If I know what it is, it's fine. If I know what it is and it's a lot of work to fix, it's still fine because I know what it is, but I don't know. There's something not right. I've been writing for over a decade. I know by now that if there's that little voice in the back of my mind going, this isn't right, then it's not right. Chapter 19 and 20 are pretty solid, so I think I'm going to edit those as usual, but I might actually, I have how many chapters left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 12 chapters left in the novel. I might simply, after editing 19 and 20, I might simply read this last arc of the story and sort of break it down into its bare bones and like look at each scene and say, okay, what is this scene doing and is it doing it correctly? And if it's not doing anything at all, either take it out or make sure it's carrying its own weight. The only thing I know to do when there's a problem and you can't fix it is look at all the individual elements of everything. And I've got just a lot of subplots going on and like the character's own worries mix with the actual mystery and problem. That's the point, like he's confused and he doesn't know what to do. It's hard to get a grip on how it's going to be for readers. Editing is just like a lesson in humility and stress. I already know there are 3 chapters later on that need rewriting because I have identified that that was a major problem and I need to fix it. And I am hoping this problem I'm feeling with like chapters 18 through 23 can be fixed. Fix the parts before it, if that makes sense. I'm crossing my fingers that that's the problem and that my brain is just like telling me the problem is coming up. The problem is coming up and you're gonna have to fix it, and that's why I'm going, eee. We're crossing our fingers and our other fingers and our toes, and we're gonna hope that fixing the 3 chapters later on fixes the funkiness. What we're hoping for. Okay. I don't want to jinx it, but I might have figured it out. I should preface this by saying I have been figuring out some things I need to add to Project Fae to make it work. And I've been making a list of those things and where is best to insert them throughout the story to make the whole thing have higher stakes and make the ending more impactful, you know, all that good stuff. But there was something still wrong with the ending and I didn't like it. It's not actually the ending, it's like the thing that sets the whole climax of the story into motion. Something about it was wrong. And so I was doing what I was planning on doing, where I was going through all the little choices that each of the characters make and seeing, does this choice fit with their personality and what would they do in this situation, and if it was different, would it be better? I also figured out, I think one of the things that makes this story so much harder for me to write compared to like In Dying Starlight or something where the writing of it is difficult, but I know where I'm going with it and I can just write it. It's a relatively easy story to write, mostly Probably because it's just pulpy, fun action adventure with some angst. This story is, I'm writing a main character who knows he's wrong, and that might give like a bad impression of him. The decisions he makes might be morally correct. I'm trying to explain this without giving spoilers and context. I guess I can give a little bit of context in that this is fairyland, right? So it's strange, there's a lot of rules to the magic, but the magic also doesn't make sense and breaks its own rules sometimes. But there are rules that the inhabitants, even the king, who is the main character, cannot break. Morally, he makes a choice to do something that is correct, but within the rules of his own world, he is kind of screwing up. Him doing things incorrectly and learning from his mistakes is a good thing. You're supposed to have your main characters be wrong, and I know that. I know that intellectually, but it's hard. It's hard to make him sympathetic, but also we as the audience know he's wrong, but he's trying to do the right things as he's wrong. Have him come to a proper realization of the ways he needs to fix things. At a basic level, writing action adventure is so much easier than writing something like this. Action scenes might be like technically difficult to write at a sentence level. Writing action in Dying Starlight is so much easier than writing this plot line in Project Fae. The climax of the story is sort of set in motion by a specific conversation that IMR has. IMR is the main character. Specific conversation he has. And as I have it now, he doesn't want to have the conversation. He takes steps to avoid the conversation. And eventually it is sort of forced upon him, and he has this oh geez moment where he has to have this conversation that kind of sets everything else in motion. Okay? Yeah. If I have him not want to have the conversation, and I have him take some of the beginning steps to sort of resist it, as he has been doing. But if I rearrange events to where he makes the choice that he knows that the conversation is something he needs to do, and that a lot of his insecurities he needs to overcome by having the conversation, if he chooses to do it himself, and then the rest of the events of the climax, which are basically like good, I like them, if those events then take place off of that after he makes that choice, that's so much better. And there is a lesson in here for me with this, because intellectually I know that character motivation and agency is some of the most important parts of storytelling. So that might be a good tip if you're struggling with your story, and especially if you feel as if it's a character problem in some way. Look at the character's motivation, look at their decision-making skills and their agency as a character, and see if that is the problem. I actually unconsciously did well with this in the rest of the book. IMR makes the decisions that set the plot into motion 100%. So again, I don't want to jinx this, but I think that's it. I mean, there's a lot of other little changes I have been coming up with that are going to make this better overall 100%. But I think that was the main thing. I hope, I pray. Because like I said, I don't care if it's a lot of work as long as I know how to fix it. Hopefully no other problems pop up in the meantime. So, it has been so long since I updated this vlog. I'm not entirely sure where I left you, but I'm going to grab you and show you my scrivener document. Hold still. Okay, so we got my scrivener document here. This is Project Fae. There is a lawnmower going outside. I hope this microphone doesn't pick it up too much. So I've got my story over on the right. I've got this document over on the left, which I went through, and I don't know how long this document is. It's about 1,400 words worth of notes to add through the entire story that covers world building and the character development and all sorts of things that I think once I accomplish all these things, the plot will be good. So I did this a week or two ago, I don't know, soon after I last updated you guys. And as you can see, if I scroll to the top here, I've got a bunch of, I hope the camera picks it up, I've got a bunch of stuff already crossed out, so that's stuff that I have gotten done, and I think it works as it is. My chapters are over on the side here, and I am right here in chapter 14. There's 32 chapters. I had started over at the beginning of the story to go through and start adding in all these world building things so that I knew if the changes at the end of the book would be good, because they're only going to be good if I fix the beginning. So I think I have done a quite a solid job, if I do say so myself, of fixing the first half of the book plot-wise. But as I have said 1,000 times, and I will definitely say more times before this story is done, the first half has always been the most solid and the easiest to fix. But now that I think I have a solid direction from fixing the first half, now I can just throw myself into focusing and fixing all the problems in the second half of the book. You know, at the times when I'm not drafting and editing in Dying Starlight. I would also like to say that I am proud of myself that I have done some significant work on naming all the side characters, which is a thing that I struggle with. If you've been on this channel with me at all, you know. Barely name my main characters, goodness sakes. So the good news is I'm feeling so good about this novel, even if I'm past my deadline of I wanted to have this fixed at the end of February. But even if I am past that deadline, I'm feeling so good about it. The bad news is I'm gonna hit the second half of the book, which will without a doubt make me feel not so good about it. So many projects, not enough years. What's the matter? That I won't play with that? Is that the problem? Is that the problem? Well, get it. Ooh, good turnaround. You want to step on the dragon. Hi. This vlog is so long, I don't know where I left anything off. Listening to Avatar: The Last Airbender music and editing your novel is top tier writing time. I think the place I left this off is I was trying to fix the plot holes in Project Fae last week. Did not happen, was not a good plan, had to edit in Dying Starlight. I don't know what I was thinking. But in Dying Starlight is now edited, so I can focus the creative efforts on Project Fae, which is good, because it's March 16th. I'm in the middle of editing chapter 18 right now, which puts me more than halfway through the book. I now have a goal of wanting to finish the plot hole fixes by the end of this week. Yesterday I told my mother I thought it was pretty funny because in general I think of this story as kind of a cozy fairy tale fantasy, which is going to make it very hard to market, but that's how I think of it. For the most part, that is what it is, except for the heavily implied gruesome murder in the first chapter and chapter 16, which has one of the most traumatic flashbacks I have ever written for a character. The story's like 90% wholesome, but then every once in a while, you're just like, ooh! Or hopefully. I am, as the writer. Hopefully you will be as the reader. Other than the fact that I am behind on my little self-imposed deadline, this editing is going really well. I'm still, as I'm going, sort of working out the kinks with one of the minor characters' plot points in the relationship with the main character. I'm still working on that. It's a little funky, but I think I'm getting there. I think I thought of the little change that I needed last night. And other than that, all the stuff I've been fixing has been going well. It's been great. I also think I have settled in to a good style and color palette for doing the cover of this book, which I was struggling with. It's like everything about this book, there is a struggle. I'm struggling with the plot points, I'm changing the plot points, I'm struggling to edit. I'm actually doing okay with the edits now, but I was struggling to edit. This cover design, I started over like 8 times. I finally got a sketch that I wanted, but then I couldn't decide on the style, and I didn't like any of the color palettes I picked. This novel better just knock everybody's socks off, or otherwise I shall bang my face on the keyboard. I'm getting there with all of this. I can feel it. It's just, it's so close. Camera is truly dying, so back to writing, charge this. I think I wore this shirt last time, but I don't care because it's really cozy. It's now Monday, March 21st. I am so sore. It's Monday, and on Saturday I went with my mom and did some like volunteer gardening to fix up the local senior center. I had the truly bright idea that I was going to dig up all the weeds and like really tall grasses that were overgrown around some of the flower bushes. So the good news is the bushes look very nice. All the weeds and crabgrass is gone, and they now have little basins for the water. The bad news is my legs are really sore, and also like this part part of my hands because I basically spent 2 hours crouched down with a little hoe just really going at the crabgrass. I am a wimp, but the flowers are happy. I also got basically nothing done over the weekend because most of Saturday I was doing gardening, running errands, working on the new Undying Starlight cover, and most of yesterday I was cleaning house and working on the Undying Starlight cover. So I only got about an hour's worth of writing time done over the whole weekend. So, you know, there went my my little goal of fixing the stupid plot holes by the end of the week. Whatever, it's fine. We're getting there. You know, based on the amount of time it takes me to fix these big problems, I'm really not very worried because once I fix them, it's gonna be smooth sailing. I finished editing chapter 21, 22, 23, and the first part of 24. That is the big hurdle to overcome. It's just like a puzzle. 22 and 23 are the worst, and I'm trying to go through them, and they're way too long and bloated as it is. I'm trying to go through them and like pick out the parts that are good and figure out where to insert them in the new versions of the chapters, and just how is the pacing affected by everything, and what is in character for the main character to be saying and doing at this point. So these 2 chapters are the most daunting for me, and the good news is I have started them, and I think I'm figuring it out. Theoretically, I know what to do, but actually knowing what to do on a sentence level is much more difficult than just going, oh yeah, I know how to fix it. We got this. We got it. We got this. Oh dear. I fixed chapter 22. Oh my gosh. Okay. Monday, despite my lofty ambitions, was a dud. Monday was a dud. I should mention that it's Wednesday the 23rd. Yesterday, I worked on... Yesterday, I worked on chapter 22 for 4 hours, and I wrote 2,000 new words in it. Oh, I think it's good. Yeah. Now I just need to do the same thing for chapter 23, and it will be basically smooth sailing from then on. I also cut several thousand words out of the old version of that chapter, and I'm really glad I did because I was taking a look at the old version of this that I had. These couple of chapters were not good. My little 6th writer sense really was trying to tell me something. Because these chapters didn't go smoothly when I was drafting it or when I was rewriting it, and every time I've tried to edit it since then, just something has been wrong. Obviously, hence this entire vlog. And I was comparing the old chapter 22 and 23 to the new 22 that I have written and what I have planned for 23, and the old stuff is just so weirdly convoluted and kind of bloated and long and not in tone with the rest of the story. I don't know what past Emily was thinking. So happy I fixed this chapter. We got this. We got chapter 23 to go. We got this. Do I have a coffee mustache? Probably. Okay, I'm on chapter 26 now. So 22 and 23 are good. And I think so are 24, even though this whole last section will need another read through before beta readers. I think today I will finish the major edits, so... okay. Today is Friday, March 25th, so it's about damn time. Let's do this. This entire process has been a blur. I finished the developmental edits. Yeah! Today is Wednesday, March 30th. Though I did finish the developmental edits the past 3 days, I have been just doing a complete read-through of the story from start to finish, fixing up any leftover sentences that sort of mess up the plot and fixing typos and trying to make it decent enough for beta readers. I'm definitely going to finish up with that today. I'm reading the last section of it today, and we can get started on beta readers. Okay. And you know, my mom, because when I told her I was getting close to finishing this, she goes, "So when can I read it? Print it out." I think I fixed it. I think the edits work. We're gonna see what beta readers say, because for all the reasons that I have outlined in this vlog, this book is difficult and may not be everyone's cup of tea. So that's that. I'm sure I've yammered on too much in this vlog anyway, so let's wrap it up. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit longer than usual, so if you've stuck with it to the end, you're the best. You can read my ongoing web novel, In Dying Starlight, about a cyborg bounty hunter and his talking badger companion, for free. You can read it online. It updates 3 times a week. You can also check out my short story collection, All the Wood She Watches Over. It's available in paperback and on Kindle Unlimited. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next videos, because we've got a lot of Camp NaNoWriMo coming up. It's April. Okay, bye!